John, the Dodgers are going to ask Blake Treinen to go 2 full innings for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, well, this is the setup that I think Dave Roberts would definitely have liked if he asked him before the game. And believe it or not, we've got a save opportunity.
First one of this series. 7-4 Dodgers in front. Mets down to their last 6 out. Strike one on Brandon Nimmo. Best shot right here. 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
Yeah, don't adjust your TV when you see this breaking ball. It really breaks that much. It's like a wiffle ball coming out of his hands.
Ball, 1 strike. Blake Treinen missed almost 2 full years with a shoulder injury. It's been awesome pretty much all season, especially down the stretch. 21 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Back to August. And there's that video game pitch you're talking about. Strike 2.
It's just a tremendous break. And when you have a fastball that goes away from a lefty and a breaking ball that starts outside the strike zone that goes down and into a lefty, that's a lot of break. Hard to stay off that pitch.
The 1-2. Threw it again and struck him out. 1 gone in the 8th.
That's just so much spin, and when you see that tight dot, the hitters don't want to see that. They want to see a big circle. When the seams are spinning and it makes a bigger circle, not good for the pitcher.
Dodgers 5 outs away. Vientos, ball 1. 7th pitcher of the game for LA, Blake Treinen. You run bullpen games not because you want to, but because you have to. And the Dodgers knew coming into this postseason this was going to be their only shot. They're going to have to do this a couple times each series. It can go one way or the other. We've seen that happen. You saw the Dodgers save their season with a bullpen game in the division series. And then you saw game 2 of this championship series. They give up 7 runs. This time so much on the line. A win, a trip to the World Series, a loss. You got a game 7 you don't want to have to play. The 1-1 to Vientos. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boosted by the offense. 7 runs in this game. So far, so good for the bullpen. Those have been the stars of the offensive show. 4 driven in by Tommy Edman. 2 more for the Dodger catcher Will Smith. 1-2 from Treinen. Back-to-back Ks to open the 8th.
Tremendous break.
Jason Bateman loving.
Fan base is starting to smell it.
Strike 1 on Pete Alonso. And it's just looked nice and easy from Treinen. Looks like a guy who's been here before.
Well, that's what makes him so unique. I mean, he's a big pitcher, but he comes downhill without grunting or a massive delivery, and the ball just takes off. It's all about angles. And in pitching, now what's unique about him is he throws off that third base side of the rubber. For a sinker baller, right? Normally you throw off the first base side of the rubber, but his breaking ball creates angles that are hard to hit for a right-hander.
Ouch. Alonso spilled there as he fouls that ball off his foot.
And see, that was a perfect example of a 2-seam fastball riding in, and the only place that Alonso could hit that ball was foul or, unfortunately, off his leg. I mean, that is smoking.
Alonso fighting that pain, fighting his crowd now.
And they always say pitchers can be mean. When that happens, you usually go back in there. I think he might give him a break and throw a breaking ball here, but when you have that hitter already sensitive to that front leg and that front landing, he doesn't want to see another pitch in there.
So the break would be that video game breaking ball.
Yeah.
Huh? Eesh, life is tough on hitters these days. Trying to strike out the side in the 8th. He's done it, and he's put the Dodgers 3 outs away from a pennant. A 6-run lead to the 9th as Kevin Kiermaier comes into the game to play center field. For the Mets in this 9th inning, Winker, Marte, and Taylor coming up. Triton's first pitch of the 9th is in there for a strike. No, for years, John, it's been the same story. They dominate in the regular season and some success in the postseason, right? They go to the World Series in 17 and 18. They win it in 20. But especially the recent years, complete dominance in the regular season and then look like a different team in the postseason. And so they come into this year with all that hanging over them like a dark cloud that they've been able to push aside and are now on the verge of making it back.
Well, you know what they would like to answer the critics on winning a full season World Series, right? They had 31 or 32 years they hadn't won a World Series, and they won the shortened season one. This team's built for multiple championships with the signings that they have. And so this is step one. You got to get there, and getting there is not easy, even when you're favored. So a lot of pressure will be taken off of this organization for getting there, but still expected to win some.
And a miss and one gone in the 9th as Trinan has struck out all 4 that he's faced. Well, for the Dodgers, it'd be a 22nd trip to the World Series, and in more than half of those, it's been the New York Yankees that has stood in their way. This would be the 12th matchup in the Fall Classic of the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. The first one in 43 years, though, back to 1981. Back when Ronald Reagan was the president. And it used to be a routine thing. They met 11 times in a 41-year span, 1941 through 1981. Dodgers win it in 88. Yankees their run through the late 90s, early 2000s. But then their long drought, the longest drought since Babe Ruth snapped their first one. Going to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. A bouncing ball back to Trinan. Over to first in time, 2 gone. And not just a return of the Dodgers and the Yankees and the storied franchises, but the biggest stars in the game. Shohei Ohtani will go head-to-head against Aaron Judge.
Wow. It'll be the first time they go through the Mets and then play the Yankees in the World Series. So both New York teams in the same postseason.
They've had to do it the hard way, these Dodgers have. As you said, beating the Padres. A lot of people figured Padres were the best team in baseball going into the postseason. Mets forcing this game 6, having to do it with a bullpen game. This crowd, though, ready to explode, on the verge of making it all happen. There's a bouncing ball to second. Taylor's got it. Los Angeles is alive, and they're headed to the World Series. Dodgers, Yankees in the Fall Classic. much more battle tested this time around. This Dodgers team pushed all regular season. Wasn't the walk in the park that it often has been to a division title. Calloused and hardened by that journey. They withstand the deficit in the division series, come back to win that series in 5. They take the punches the Mets give them in this series, forcing a Game 6, having to fly back across the country to play at another game. And the offense again explodes, and they win 10-5 to set up the 12th Dodger-Yankee World Series. And in front of the home fans for the first time in 36 years, the final out.
One of the best feelings, short of winning it all, knowing that you're going to get a chance to play for it all. Spring training seems like 100 years ago. You knew what your quest was. You knew the pressure that was on you. And that guy is going to see the World Series.
But Dave Roberts told us the other day that, you know, when they're on the verge of clinching in Game 5, he said one of the first things he thinks about when he thinks about the Dodgers going to the World Series is, I want the world to see Shohei Ohtani on the biggest stage. And Ohtani came to the Dodgers with this in mind. After 6 seasons with the Angels where he didn't play in a single postseason game, he wanted to go to a place where he felt like he had a chance to change that. And in his first season with the Dodgers, he'll play in his first World Series.